Good morning, Flosstube. Well, hello. It may not be morning where you are, so anyway, hello. It is so good to see you. It's been way too long, and I won't go into all the things that have happened since I visited with you guys last. There's been a lot, most all good. We've had births, we've had travel, we've had just lots of life experiences. We've had some sadness, we've had some deaths, but it's all, it's just all a part of life. And life has been really happening around here for the last few months. But like I say, mostly all good. And so anyway, life just continues to go on, and I am going to be heading out in just a few minutes to go play with my grandkids. But I have been putting a couple of things here on my dining room table, thinking, oh, if I do a Flosstube, I need to talk about this. Oh, if I need to do a Flosstube, I need to talk about this. And then recently we had people over, and I had to move all that stuff off. So now I don't even remember what all I was going to talk about. But I've got a few things I wanted to talk to you about today, and I just wanted to let you know I'm still alive. So don't forget about me, please. Anyway, I won't ramble on too much. I have a finish I want to show you guys. I am a part of the Sampler Guild of Georgia, which is a cross-stitch guild here. We have two cross-stitch guilds that I'm a part of here in Georgia, and the Sampler Guild is the larger of the two. And we have a program called Journey, and it's a contract that you make with yourself that you're going to get a certain amount done within a year. And so my Journey piece this year was Feast of Friendship by Blackbird Designs. And I do not have the cover photo. I couldn't find my my pattern. All I could find was my working copy, and I didn't make a copy of the front of the chart. So, but I know you've all seen it. And I did not press this because here again, I'm doing this video spur of the minute. It seems like every video that I make, I'm doing them spur of the minute. Oh, I think I'll just sit down and make a video real quick. So here again, I'm doing this spur of the minute, so I didn't press, but I think y'all have all seen this enough that you know what it looks like. I absolutely loved working on this piece. Now, I will say that house took me a minute. It is called for overdyed flosses, and I used exactly what it was called for. So I did the 3 different blues in the house. I know a lot of people have subbed and just used one color of the blue, but I used I think there were 3 different colors in that house. You can't really tell it, but I liked it. So I used all the different blues. And then that fruit bowl was another one that took just a minute. I'm not a fan of changing colors all that much, but I think it's beautiful. I love it. I love the way it turned out. So I am thrilled to have my, you know what? I told you wrong. This is not my Journey piece. This is the piece that I'm doing, like y'all care. This is the piece that I'm doing for my second sampler group, cross-stitch guild. This is for the Magnolia Guild. They have a program called Magic, My Annual Good Intentions Contract. This is for Magic because with Magic you have to complete your project, and this one I completed. With the Sampler Guild of Georgia, their Journey piece, you don't necessarily have to finish it. And I may have that here, and I'll show you what I'm working on for the Sampler Guild of Georgia. But from the Magnolia Guild, this is what I was doing. And so I got it finished, and I think I needed to have this finished by July. So that's why I wanted to get this one finished first, because the Sampler Guild of Georgia, I don't have to have that finished until like September or October. So I wanted to get this one done first. I stitched this on Lakeside Linen's Buttercream 40 count. Whoops, there we go. And it was a big piece, it was a fat quarter. And as you can see, I've got lots of fabric left. I don't usually cut my fabric until after I had finished the piece. So that is Feast of Friendship. I loved it. I'm actually going to miss this. This was fun to stitch on. But I've got a lot of other fun things to stitch on. So another thing that I finished, it's unusual for me to have this many finishes, but I guess when I wait this long between videos, I'm going to have finishes. And I don't even have all my finishes in here with me, I'm sure. But in January, there was, you know, I don't even remember having a moment here. I don't remember who it was that started the blessing sampler on Instagram. If you started a sampler on January 1st and finished it by January 31st, you were supposed to have blessings for the rest of the year. Well, you know, I don't put a lot of stock in that, but I did think that was a fun thing to focus on. And I have certainly been blessed in my lifetime. And so I wanted to participate in the blessing sampler. And so since you had to have it finished in a month, I wanted to do a fairly small one. So I love Blackbird, and they had a free chart on their website or their blog. It was called Petite Letters Rouge. I can't speak French, but that's the title of the chart. There's not a cover photo because it's a freebie, and so I don't want to show you the rest of the chart. But if you'll go to their website, you can find this one. And so it's all done in red. Well, no, it's all done in red, but they have it charted for 3 different reds. I just used one red. I think I used DMC 115. It's a variegated red, and it's really pretty, I think. And so my dad's mom passed away when he was 7. And he had a sister and 2 brothers. There were four of them. And so when his mom passed away, his dad remarried fairly shortly after she passed away. And the lady that he married had children. And then when they got married, they had children. So between the holes, halves, and steps, there were 14, I think, of them. And so this sweet lady that I called Grandma, because she was my grandma, she raised my daddy like he was her own, and she was truly a blessing to my dad and to those children. And so I wanted to do a blessing chart in honor of her. I don't think I have put any of my relatives' names on charts yet, on samplers yet, and I really want to start doing that. And so she's the first one that I have done this for. And so her name was Alma. My family called her Almer. She's from Alabama, and they turn the A's into R's a lot in Alabama, but if you're from Alabama, you get it. But Alma, I didn't even know her maiden name. And so I contacted one of my cousins that keeps up with all this stuff. She told me her maiden name. So I recharted it and put her name in here. And so this is the sweet little chart. And she was born in 1902, is that right? Yeah, 1902. And I just love this. So this is my blessing sampler in honor of my grandmother, Alma. And I thought it was also cool that I'm doing a Blackbird chart for Alma, and of course, Alma is Blackbird. My husband had asked me to, the day that I finished this, my husband had asked me to go downstairs to look for something in my storage room, and golly, y'all, if y'all could see my storage room, it's a wonder I can find anything in there. It's packed. So I opened up a box to look, for whatever it was he was asking me to look for, and there was a picture laying on the top of the contents in that box, and it was a picture of my grandmother. Isn't that cool? And y'all, I didn't even remember having this picture of my grandmother. But I just thought it was so neat that I finished this sampler and then went downstairs and immediately found this picture of her. That is Alma. And she was a precious, precious woman. So that is my sampler, blessing sampler. And it was a joy to work on. So I hope y'all did a blessing sampler. And if not, I would encourage you to do that anytime. But next year, you know, when I guess they'll do it every year. So that was a lot of fun. Now, I had mentioned that I am doing a journey piece for the Sampler Guild of Georgia. And I'm trying to hide my needle while I'm talking to y'all. So I am going to be working, or I am working on, I didn't bring my glasses, so I'm having a hard time. I'm just going to stick it in here. I am working on All Creatures Great and Small by Barbara Anna. And with the Sampler Guild of Georgia, the journey just has to be at least a 6x6 area that you complete. You want to do a significant amount, enough that you are actually showing a journey. You're showing a decent progress for a year. And so, if y'all aren't familiar with the sampler, this is All Creatures Great and Small. So it's a big guy. So I contracted with myself to get a quarter of this finished. Figure that's a significant piece of work. And I had not started this at the time when I signed the contract. So I think I have to have this done, my quarter of it done, September or October, I can't remember. But this is what I have done on it. Now I started the border, the little rickracky border, all the way around, and then realized I was one stitch off. At least I had only done the rickracky part. I learned my lesson on His Eyes on the Sparrow, and I did not go ahead and fill in all the leaves and flowers and all that stuff as I went. Just doing the rickracky border. And y'all, I've had friends look at this. Nobody can find the mistake. So I had started ripping it out, and I thought, no, I'm not gonna keep, and I know one stitch, everybody says fudge it, but I can't do that. I have to fix it if I can find it. So I ripped out one side, and I thought, no, I'm not gonna keep ripping. I'm just gonna go ahead and work all the way across and, you know, kind of keep lining up until I get all the way across. And if that all lines up, then maybe I'll start working down and line that up. And maybe I'll find it. And if I don't, then I'll consider fudging. So that's where I got on my border. And now I'm just starting on this top band, and I'm gonna just try to work all the way across. And to get this done by September or October, I'm gonna have to really push it, because I'm not a monogamous stitcher, y'all. I stitch on a lot of things. And so that's going to be a lot of stitching. Maybe. I can do it. I can do it. When it gets right down to it, if I need to, I'll turn into a monogamous stitcher. But today is, I didn't put this at the front of my video. Today is Wednesday, May 1st. And so today is the official start of MAYNIA. And man, has my life been MAYNIA this year. This whole year has been MAYNIA. So I'm really not doing a whole lot of things differently because my life has already been MAYNIA. I'm going to work on 25 different whips for the month of May. So like I say, I've got plenty of whips. Maybe this will be a time to just regroup. That's what I'm hoping this will be. Okay, that was that one. Let's see, what else have I got over here? So I'm not going to show you all 25 whips that I'm going to be working on in the month of May, because I like to keep my videos, I like to keep my videos within a half an hour. And so I'm going to try to keep this a little bit short. I'll show you another finish that I have. Several years ago, for the Sampler Guild of Georgia, we had a retreat, and I don't remember the theme of the retreat. I don't know if this was a Birds of a Feather retreat or not. I think it might have been. But one of the gifts that we received was this chart from Jeanette Douglas, Sew Together, and it was a series, the Sew Together series. And this is number 3 in the series, Scissors and Threads. And so along with the chart, you know, we gave the floss and the linen, and one of our members' husbands made a little box to put this in. And the box was this color. And so I wanted to kind of prim mine up just a little bit. It's a beautiful color, but my tendency tends to lean a little more antique-y or grungy or primitive. And so I took some wax. I can't think of, it's an antiquing wax. I can't think of the name of it. But I just took and waxed mine and kind of aged it a little bit. But isn't that a darling little box? So cute. And so when the piece is finished, you put the piece in one side of your box. And so I finished my piece. Like I say, I don't know how many years ago this was, but usually I'm so busy at the retreats that I don't have a chance to really stitch. So I finally finished my little Scissors and Threads, and I think it's adorable. And so that, when it's mounted, let's see if I can fold this up and show you what it's gonna look like here in the little box. Well, maybe you can get a semi-idea. Won't that be sweet? Whole little trinkets here. I just love that. I think it's adorable. So I am not a big finisher. I have got a lot of pieces that just need to be fully finished. They're finished stitching, but they need to be fully finished. So maybe I'll gather a group of girls and have a finishing weekend. I tend to do better that way than left on my own, because I keep putting it off and putting it off, because it's not my favorite thing to do, honestly. It's not, I don't know, it's really not that hard. It's just not my favorite. I'd prefer to stitch. So let's see, what else did I finish? I worked on, I know this was for a challenge that I was trying to meet, and I don't remember what the challenge was now, honestly. This is not something that I would have normally stitched. So, but I do like doing little Christmas ornaments, and I'm trying to do Christmas ornaments for my grandchildren. And so this, I think the challenge was to use sparkly thread, which I never do, never do. And I really wasn't looking forward to it because I've heard such horror tales about it. But I did a piece out of the Christmas ornament edition of Just Cross Stitch, and this is the 2018 edition, and it was by Roveris. This is just a copy out of the magazine, but that's the Christmas ornament, and this is it. Finished stitching. And here again, I've got to fully finish that guy. But the little snowflake over here, and you may not be able to see, but the snowflake over here has some sparkle to it. So I need to fully finish. Oh, here's the magazine that came from. There are a lot of cute Christmas ornaments in here. So I have a lot of little things that I would like to finish. I am subscribed to the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitching magazine, and if you have the digital subscription, you can go back and look at past issues. So there are lots of things in there that I would like to stitch. I just have not done so. You know, I have this one laid out here, and I finished this one quite a while back, and I don't know if I ever showed it to you. This is Mademoiselle Viola Martini, 1876. Viola was my mother's maiden name. So I did not put her name down at the bottom. I left it Viola Martini. I considered changing it to my mom's name, but I think I have some other things in mind for that. So I left this one as is. Here is a copy of the cover of the chart. There's the title and the chart. I think this is a picture of the antique. This is an antique reproduction. And I stitched this on, I don't know. I like to keep the little tag on the fabric, but I did not keep the tag on the fabric, so I'm not sure what I stitched this on. But I left it on this big old, it must have been a yard. I stitched this on a yard of whatever this is. But here is my finish. I can't see how much you're seeing. I got the whole thing in there. This was a lot of fun too. I really enjoyed this. I love doing monochromatic samplers. Red especially is my favorite. But then when it came down to this wreath, I think I mentioned a minute ago, all the color changes is not my favorite, but it was just, I loved it. I thought it was so pretty. So that is Mademoiselle Viola Martini. She's beautiful. I really want to get some of these things framed. However, I don't have a great place to hang my framed pieces. Our house is pretty open concept, so I don't have a lot of walls in my living space. But I've started hanging them down in my, what will be, if I ever get my act together and get it straightened up, my sewing room downstairs. So I've taken over one of the kids' old bedrooms. So I do need to get some of these things framed, and I had purchased a lot of frames, some of them antique frames, from a gal's estate that she passed away. She was in our guild, and so we have lots and lots of frames that my husband could cut down and alter the size and maybe frame ourselves. I'd like to try. I don't know, we'll see. But some of these I think I want to see if my husband can help me with that. All right, let's see, what do I have over here? I don't even know what's in some of these bags. Oh, it's another finish. Wow, okay. This same sweet lady that passed away that was in our guild, I bought some of the kits that she had. She had lots and lots and lots of fabric kit, fully kitted projects. And I think this was one. I think that's where I got this one. This is called the Stitcher's Name Tag Kit. And I go to a lot of retreats. And so I wanted to have a stitched name tag that I could wear that would hold a room key and maybe my phone and that type of thing. So this is from Lottie Da. And I know this was an exclusive at one time, but she has since put out, I don't know if she's put out this particular chart. I do know that at Market she had a name tag pattern that she came out with, but I don't think it was this one. I think it was a little bit different. But it came with all of the finishing things. Here again, I just gotta have a weekend and sit down and do this. So here, it's not ironed. It's been in my bag. But there's my little name tag. And I know it looks kind of big, but I think once it's finished and hanging here, it's not going to be like a billboard. it'll be just right to put my phone and room key and credit card and that kind of thing down in there. So that was Stitcher's Name Tag by Lottie Da, and I used all the called for everythings because that was what was in the kit. And that was fun to do. Let's see, what else is over here? This is probably one of the Christmas trees. Nope, this is a Christmas stocking from Mary Bill. Y'all know I've talked about these stockings. I have wanted to do these stockings for years and years and years. So I'm slowly chipping away at it. This one is for Asa, my son. And let's see if I have a copy of the chart in here. I thought I did, but maybe not. Yeah, here's a copy of it. That's the chart. That's the stocking. I love it because all of the stockings have scripture on it, and it tells the story of the birth of Christ. And that was what was holding me up for a long time, because I couldn't decide how to do them. Do I do them, in order, scripturally in order, or then what happens when one of the children get married and you have to insert somebody in there? And my daughter told me to finally just do them, Mom. It doesn't matter if they're in order, and she was right. So there is Asa's stocking. And I'm probably not going to fully finish this until I get all of their stockings completed. And I think this may have completed all of my children's stock. No, it didn't. I've still got another one or two to go. So I'm doing the children first, and then I'm going to do their spouses, and then I'm going to do the grandchildren. I think that's my plan. So I've still got a lot to do. Mary had 10 of those stockings that she produced, and then I think there were a few more in the pocketbook series, and I don't have those. I would like to get those, and I don't know if they're the same size or not, but I have more than 10 stockings I need to do. So let's see, this is the Christmas trees by Hello from Liz Matthews. These come as either a sampler or a little Christmas tree. It's the 12 days of Christmas. So I am working on the 6th day, the 6 geese a laying. I think I finished one since I have talked with you, but I can't remember which one I finished, and it's not in this bag. So this is the 6th day of Christmas. I have not finished this. I'm still working on this. So this will be one of the whips in my MAYNIA this year. But I am having a blast stitching these trees. They're just so, I love them. I love them. I think she just came out with 10. Okay, and then this is a new chart that just came out at market from Annie, the Proper Stitcher. And it is, she is clothed with strength, and the Strength and Dignity is the name of the chart. And I absolutely love this. And I have a friend who is going through a battle with breast cancer. And so I am going to be stitching this for her. I think this would be the perfect thing to stitch for her and give it to her. So I just have started this. I started this last week, I think. So I haven't gotten very far. But I want to get this stitched up so I can give it to her. A little pillow. I just think it's just beautiful. I love it. I absolutely love it. So that is just a few of the things that I have done that I am going to be working on. As I said, my MAYNIA is going to be working on 25 different projects this month, different whips, and I've got more than 25 that I can work on, so that's not going to be an issue at all. So I hope y'all have MAYNIA plans. I just hope you have stitching plans. I hope you can carve out a little time for stitching. It is a way that I can just relax at the end of the day. And usually I don't get much stitching done until my husband and I sit down to watch TV at night, and that's my stitching time, and that's a time that I can just really relax and get myself together from the craziness of the day. But it was so good visiting with you guys again. I've missed you. So hopefully I'll be able to come back and share with you some of my MAYNIA progress. So until next time, God bless.